The field of conservation is filled with acronyms that indicate the threat levels faced by various species. It's an alphabet soup of abbreviations and unusual terms. This video and its accompanying lesson will decode and demystify conservation status abbreviations so that you can understand what they mean and why they're important to long-term wellness of the world's biodiversity. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, or IUCN, uses these categories to classify risks of global extinction. Scientific teams measure the health of populations, habitat conditions, and threats to both. They tell us about the health of the Earth's biodiversity. Let's look at some real-world examples of what these conservation statuses mean. This is Benjamin. He was the last thylacine, or Tasmanian tiger, on Earth. He died in a zoo in 1936. Hunted to extinction, no more thylacines exist. The Milu, also called Pear David's deer, is native to the subtropical valleys of China. Captive populations exist in the hopes of reintroducing viable herds to the wild. These are from a captive herd in China. Hunted to near extinction and suffering from habitat loss due to human activities, they were listed as extinct in the wild in 2008. The most endangered ape, fewer than 40 Hainan gibbons, remain in the world. Their populations declined by at least 80% in 45 years, and primarily due to hunting and habitat loss. Such a small population could be lost in one natural disaster. Critically endangered means that there's an extremely high risk of extinction. The remaining Brazilian forests that are home to golden-headed lion tamarins are destroyed at an unprecedented rate, and those populations surviving are seriously depleted and fragmented. Endangered means that they're at a high risk of becoming extinct. As human population growth and commerce expand in Central Africa, Hamlin's monkeys, also called owl-faced monkeys, continue to decline in number due to hunting and habitat loss and habitat fragmentation. Vulnerable means that they're at high risk of becoming endangered. Although Mona monkeys are widespread and can adapt to a variety of degraded habitats, they're vulnerable to hunting, especially as larger monkeys disappear from being hunted and they're losing forests throughout their range. Near threatened means that they're likely to become endangered in the near future. The brown greater galago, also called the thick-tailed greater galago or bush baby, is relatively widespread and common. There are no major range-wide threats, although they are impacted by bushmeat hunting and habitat loss in some parts of their range. Listed as least concern, their populations are stable. Gray's bald-faced sakis are elusive, living high in the forest canopy of the Amazon basin. They're difficult to observe, and as a result, they're little studied. Data deficient means that there's not enough known to determine their long-term risks. Not evaluated often applies to recently discovered species, although not every known species has been assessed by the IUCN. Conservation status categories help us to understand how and why species are at risk. They also help us to understand that there is hope for most species if we all take action, even in small ways, and especially if we start today.